Okay, find the GCF of the number pair 26 and 39. Some of us may struggle on this one, but for 26 and 39, 13 times 2 is 26, and 13 times 3 is 39. So your answer is 13. We have 28 and 14, and we're finding the GCF again. Some of you can see 14. If you can't, you can start with 7. 7 times 4 is 28, and 7 times 2 is 14. 4 and 2, 2 can still go in there, so 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 1 is 2. We're going to multiply the 7 and 2 together, we're going to get 14. If you would have started with 14, you would have been done right off the bat. So find the GCF of 32 and 40. 8 times 4 is 32, and 8 times 5 is 40. Nothing else can go in that 4 and a 5, so our answer is 8. Next up is the GCF of 54 and 36. Nine times 6 is 54, and 9 times 4 is 36. We look at that 64, 6 and 4. 2 can go into 6 3 times, and 2 can go into 4 twice. We cannot do anything with that 3 and 2. So we're going to do 9 times 2, and you're going to get 18 as your answer. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to get common denominators and figure out if these are going to be less than or greater than. So 4/10 and 5/6. We're going to get a common denominator of 30. Six times 5 is 30, so 5 times 5 is 25. 10 times 3 is 30, so 4 times 3 is 12. 12 is less than 25. Okay, on this one, sometimes you don't have to find a common denominator. Sometimes you can kind of say, hey, what's closest to 0 and what's closest to half? If I only give you 3 out of 33 pieces, that's closer to 0. If I give you 40 out of 100, that's almost half. So this is less than. Let's look at this one, 5/12 and 3/20. Let's find a common denominator. 12 and 20, I know 4 can go in there because 4 times 3 is 12 and 4 times 5 is 20. Let's multiply these together and figure out what our denominator is going to be. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times 5 is 60, so we're going to get 60 as our denominator. So 5/12 times 5 equals 60. So 5 times 5 is 25. Then we have 3/20. So 20 times 3 is 60, and 3 times 3 is 9. So this 25 is bigger than 9, so we're going to say greater than. We have 24 18ths and 25 15ths. So what they want us to do is rewrite with the common denominator. Remember, you have to multiply or divide the numerator by the same factor as the denominator, and that's what we have been doing. So let's take a look about what we can do here. Let's get 18 and 15 and figure out what our denominator is going to be. 3 times 6 is 18, and 3 times 5 is 15. I'm going to multiply these together. 3 times 6 is 18, and then 18 times 5, we get 90. So we have 24 18ths times 5 gives us 90. And then we have 24 times 5. So we get 120 over 90 there. Then we have 25 over 15. So we're going to take 15 times 6 equals 90. And 25 times 6 is 150. 120 is less than 150. Okay, so instead of just writing the inequality, instead of just writing less than or greater than, they want us to write the whole inequality this time. So we have to write a fraction in there. So we have 24 over 18 is less than 25 over 15. And it would help if I actually put the 1 in front of my 8 to make it an 18, I guess. There we go. Sorry about that. Write an inequality to compare the fractions. So we have -3/8 and -5/7. So it's telling you to find a common denominator, and remember you have to multiply or divide the numerator by the same factor as the denominator. So let's go work page out. So we have 3/8 and 5/7. Let's find a common denominator. Nothing goes in this, so we're going to multiply and we get 56. So we're going to multiply by 8 here and by 7 here. So we get 21 over 56, and we get 40 over 56. But remember, these are negative numbers. So this guy right here, he's closer to 0, so he's going to be greater. And so we need to type our stuff in. So -3/8 is greater than -5/7. Oops. Next. Write an inequality to compare the fractions, -18 over 42 and -15 over 21. I know we can keep -18 over 42 because I can change -15 over 21 to have a 42 on the bottom by multiplying by 2. So I have -30 over 42. 18 is going to be closer to 0, so it is greater than. Next one, write an inequality, compare the fractions, 12 over 16 and 16 over 24. Let's look at our hints. Rewrite the fractions of the common denominator, and then the same things that it has been saying. So we have 16 and 24. 4 times 4 is 16, and 4 times 6 is 24. I'm going to take it down one step further. 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 3 is 6. Multiply these together. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Then we have 16 times 3. And we get 48. You could have got to that a lot simpler if you would have started with an 8. And so you would have 8. Let me change that color there. You can see it. So we would have 8, 2, and 3. So I have 12 sixteenths, and I'm going to be multiplying that by 3. So I can get 48 on the bottom. 12 times 3 is 36. Then I have 16 over 24. I'm going to multiply that by 2. If I do that, I get 32 on the top and 48. So 36 is greater than 32. So we have 12 sixteenths is greater than 16 24. Okay, let's look at our next one. Okay, so let's find our denominator for 12 and 28. Four times 3 is 12, and 4 times 7. So we're going to multiply those together. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times 7. If you need to do that, you can come over here, and you get 84. So we're going to get 84 as our denominator. So 5/12 times 7, we get 35 over 84. And 11/28 times 3, because I'm just getting those numbers from right up here, guys. 33 over 84. Once again, the first one is greater than the second one. And then our last one, -7/10 and -5/9. We have 10 and 9, and that's going to be 90 because I can't do anything with that. So 7 over 10 times 9 equals 90. 7 times 9 is 63. And then we have -5/9, so times 10. So -50 over 90. -50 is -63 is farther away, so that is going to be less than on this one. Oops, I forgot our lesson sign. And there we go, and we are done.